This tutorial is going to show you how to create an enhanced image using a photograph in Photoshop, a little bit like this example that we've got here on the right. So what you're going to need is a photograph to start with. So I've got an old vintage photograph of the seaside in Portrush, so I'm just going to open that up in Photoshop, unlock the background layer, and then duplicate that layer twice. So we want to have 2 additional copies, so 3 in total. And then we're just going to add just 1 blank layer, so 1 new layer. And if you just drag that down to the bottom, and then we're just going to quickly colour that white. So you'll see that that's full at the bottom. Then we're going to apply some photo filters to each of these layers so that we're just changing the colour slightly. So if you start on the top layer and go into Image, Adjustments, Photo Filter, and then if you select from the filter a colour, so if you just select whichever colour you want, so I'm going to go for cyan, we're going to do 25% on that first layer of density, then you click onto the same next layer, so Image, Adjustments, Photo Filter, and again selecting the cyan here, but we're going to change the density to 60%, and then for the bottom layer we're going to do the same again, so Image, Adjustments, Photo Filter, cyan even, and then 100%, so it's going to have a really strong deep colour. And then we're going to start to do the layering of the different shapes. So if you use the Ellipse Tool, if you want something a bit freer, you can use the Lasso Tool, but it's not as easy to control. So I'm just going to use the Ellipse Tool. So if you just select a sort of section of the image, you're going to do quite a large circle for the first one, because this is going to be your bottom layer, and then click Select, Inverse, and then hit the Delete button on your keyboard, and it will remove the rest of the image, so you're just left with the circle. And then we're going to do the same on the next layer, but it's going to be a slightly smaller circle than before. And again, Select, Inverse, and Delete. And then the same again on that top layer with just a final smaller circle on the inside, and again Select, Inverse, and Delete. And so overall you're left with this nice kind of 3-layered sort of circular thing with a few different hues going on. So it's up to you, you can kind of change the size and the shape and the colours and things like that, but that's the sort of overall image. What I'm going to do as well is just add a little text label. So to do that I'm going to flatten the image, so select all the layers and click Flatten Image, and then I'm going to open up a new document. I'm just going to start with A4 so that we've got something to work with, and just drag that image into my new document. So if you hold down Shift, it will just stay in proportion and make it quite large. So you can close that one now. And then I just want to add a little caption. I want to add it so it looks like a little bit of sticky tape maybe. So if you create a new layer and then select the Shape tool, I want the colour to sort of match my image, so I'm going to take the colour just from here, sort of second layer. Then go back onto the Shape tool and just create a simple rectangle. I think that's a bit too dark, so what I'm going to do then is just change the opacity down so it goes a little bit lighter. And then I want the edges to look a bit rougher, so a little bit like they would if it was masking tape. So I'm going to select the eraser tool and one of the like messier brushes, so maybe like 14. And then just zoom right in and just brush the edges here, so I might use something a bit thicker. Oops, and just make sure that opacity is up there. And then what you might want to do is just get a little bit of a darker colour and just make a couple of little marks across the tape so that you've got a few different marks so it doesn't look too even in colour across this, and then when we zoom out it's looking quite nice. And then we're just going to add a little caption to finish it off. And again, with your font colour, you might want to keep it kind of in keeping with the stuff that you've got. But it will almost maybe look better if the font's quite small, possibly. But it's up to you. You can kind of play around with that. And then I'm just going to quickly crop that so I've got the final image. And that's it. That's our final photograph.